So I would say more than anyone else in this room, I probably have the most right to hate Dolly Parton. For the 4th of July, my friends decided to go to New York, to Williamsburg, to some rooftop to watch fireworks. And I decided that instead I would take one of my friends who has not really left this immediate area to Tennessee to see, well, I guess not all the cool stuff that New York has to offer. But my car is really old, and her car is older than mine, and we ended up borrowing her dad's 1-month-old beautiful SUV. And this was a good idea, we thought. So we get on the road at about 3 o'clock on Friday, and we finally pull into a Walmart parking lot in Sevierville, Tennessee at about 3 a.m. I'm not sure if any of you are aware of this, and this might be useful information. Walmart encourages parking lot camping. You can stay there, it's totally free. I guess they don't have to pay for security so much, and they figure you'll go in there and buy stuff. And I just use their bathroom because it's a major corporation, and I'm kind of one of those people. But it's cool, whatever. So you can camp in parking lots at Walmarts for free across the country. So we set up camp in the back of her dad's new car at like 3 a.m. And it was like really hot and humid, and the windows were fogging up, and we didn't want to open them because we're in a parking lot. And we had the GPS and all of our luggage, and we just gotten paid in cash, and it was not a good idea to leave the windows open. Anyway, I'm going off topic. So we slept, and when you fold the seats down, instead of going down flat like we had assumed, it was kind of like this. So we were basically sleeping sitting up. We slept for about an hour and woke up to find like this whole gypsy town had set up around us, and there were children running around naked, and people like playing music and lawn chairs and bonfires. It was an experience, and we had our couple minutes there, and we decided to go on with our day. We were up early, let's just do it. The condition for borrowing her dad's brand new car was to pick him up a souvenir of Dolly Parton. That was what he wanted, and we could handle that. So we woke up early, and we drove around for a long time because at this point, I guess if we went to sleep around 4:30, it's probably like 6:30 by the time we were out on the road again, and there was really nothing open. So probably around 8 a.m. on a Saturday, we pull up to Dollywood. Now, I figured that it would probably open around 9 or something, and you could get there early and there's stuff to see. Like if you go to Disney, you can walk up to the place, and before you go in the gates, there's like statues and topiaries of like Goofy and all this stuff. And I had heard that there's this like humongous, or life-size, whatever, bronze statue of Dolly Parton. And we figured the souvenir we'd bring back, if nothing else, was going to be a picture of us standing with this huge statue, just like, like her dad really wants to see us groping a statue. But it was the idea. We had slept for an hour and a half. It seemed to make sense. So we pull up to the parking lot, and everyone who worked at all the little parking lot toll booths had the big blonde hair. Like it was almost like an impersonation contest, which was fine. And we paid the $8 to go in, and to the parking lot. The park is like $70 for the day. So we paid the $8 to get in the parking lot to go get our picture taken, and she's like, well, where are you going? And I was like, Dollywood. And she kind of gave me a look, and she's like, can't go in there. Didn't give me an explanation, had taken my money, and proceeded to make me do a U-turn and leave. There were no other cars in the parking lot, because I know it's early, but I thought I could at least see the statue. And I didn't get to see the statue, and we turned around, paid $8 to get insulted by third-rate Dolly Parton parking attendant lookalikes, and left. So at this point, we didn't have a souvenir. There was some weird way of how I do things. I had 3 dates in that state. First one was with a park ranger. So I was like, this is awesome. He's going to show us bears. Maybe he'll be able to help us find a Dolly Parton souvenir. He was really boring. He had nothing to offer, couldn't give us any information. The second date was with a forest ranger, who I soon learned were like a tier above park rangers. So I talked to him and his friends, and apparently there's this knife store in Pigeon Forge that sells dulcimers made by Dolly Parton's sister-in-law. This was perfect. Now, if you don't know, a dulcimer's kind of like a guitar, but you strum everything, and you keep it on a table or on your lap or something, and they have little like wooden butterflies carved into them, and they cost about $400, which he didn't mention. Till the next day, I found out when I went to the knife store. Oh shoot, I'm so bad on time. So we went to the knife store, we get there, it was great, we saw the dulcimer, we couldn't buy it because it was $400, we didn't know that at the time. So we're wandering around this knife store and we find these little fake IDs. Now the store also had a room in it about the size of upstairs here, filled with bootleg videos that someone had made at their home and had their home address with like, the Chrisman Family DVD boutique or something, and it was all homemade, all made on their printer, and they also carried bootleg IDs. So we picked up the Dolly Parton ID, and this was perfect. We get in the car, and we turn it on, and we see the clock, and we realize that we had been in this knife store for 2.5 hours. And we had left the phones charging in the car because we figured we're running into a knife store to buy like a little instrument, and it would be a 15-minute ordeal. Well, in the process, somehow we managed to have the cigarette lighter thing that you plug in your wall outlets, the converter, whatever it's called, plugged in for 2.5 hours. I think there's like some, not rule because who's going to regulate that, but a suggestion maybe that you shouldn't do that. So we got in, we didn't really think much of it. I turn the car, we pull out of the parking lot onto the highway, and I smell burning. And then I realize there's smoke rising up between us, and there are sparks. And basically we set her dad's brand new car on fire. And it was then that I realized that I probably should have just coughed it up and bought him the expensive instrument instead of a crappy $4 ID. Yeah, and that was last weekend.